Hey there viewers, my name's Trinsky and welcome back to just a little bit of Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup tournament play. Today I'm just probably hopping on for a little bit, maybe just a couple hours here, because I just really wanted to get a little bit more tournament play in and get started with our Hill Orc Monk here. We're going for a streak of just 2, of course, if we make it through. But I wanted to hop on, at least for a little bit here, do some of the usual stuff, find God, make some friends, murder all the heretics, just basically everything the way that VO intended it. So, with that in mind, let's just hop into it, shall we? I do think Riffling's Regrets, our team, has managed to go up a little bit in the rankings since we were last on, which is nice to see, even though, again, we're not very competitive as a team here. Just having some fun for sure, but up to 41, I think, and I'm not sure, more teams have probably joined in since I last checked as well, so it's definitely a nice little bonus on top of things. But as for what we're doing here today, let's go through our usual routine at the start of a run, make sure we're picking everything up here. Most definitely will be putting a little bit of experience into both throwing and evocations like I usually do on most melee-based builds, but onwards we go. I have to be a bit more careful than I usually am in the first section of the game here. We're of course still not completely used to all of the melee damage changes, but that should be fine. And we're also on the lookout for a couple things in the early game here as a Hill Orc Monk. First being some kind of better armor to replace our robe, something a little bit heavier, ideally. And on the other hand, we are also, conversely to a whole lot of other characters, we are actively seeking out that very first Orc Priest. Ideally, an Orc Priest on D2 would be absolutely lovely, though definitely asking for a bit much. Doesn't often happen when you're actively looking for it. Jeez, even a unarmed hobgoblin is a little bit of a tough enemy. Ooh, let's definitely drag you all back then. Again, we really want, ideally, some plate armor. Maybe, just maybe, game, if you're feeling generous. But I'd be happy with just about anything that's heavier than a robe here. Hey, Awad, how's it going? Hope your crawling has been going well. I'm doing fantastic, thank you very much. I guess crawling and life in general, both going very well, I hope. But yes, I'm definitely doing great today. We're just on for a little bit, trying to get started on this Hill Orc run. We are just coming right off of our Octopode of Zom win, so ideally, gonna get some streak points for the team here. But we'll see how it goes. Perfect time, just got home and only been on for 5 minutes. Love to hear it. Especially since, I just randomly decided to pop on for some impromptu play here, so it worked out great. Also, thank you so much for Agilities for the follow. I appreciate it a whole lot. Hope you're having a great day. Oh geez, kobold with a whip. Whole lot scarier than it has any right to be. We could, of course, get real desperate here, and I think I will. Jeez, it dies to 1 turn with Chiari. But we at least didn't mulch the bolt, so it was definitely worth it just to keep the streak alive here at any cost. And again, game, if you want to give me some heavy armor, now's the time to do it. Just any old heavier armor. Could be leather for all I care. Just anything, please. You won your Ash game, tried to do Nimlic's Choice Human Delver, but no luck? No worries. I do enjoy myself going for those Nemlex combos. It's fun getting pigeonholed into something and having to just do your best with what's given to you. But very nice for winning a game in general. I did see that our 1 game count for the team did go up by 1, so that must have been you. Thank you so much for doing the team proud. Riffling's Regrets sends their regards. 5 rune game though, nice. It's also solid. We're pretty dang close to getting all of the exploration points possible, and I'm very curious what we're missing as a team. That's one that definitely just kind of have to see how it goes ambiently. can't really plan it out amongst all of us. Oh, geez. Remember how I said I was streaking? I'm lethally poisoned, which isn't great. Let's hope we have curing, shall we? Oh, first try. No problem whatsoever. Of course the green potion is curing, though. Everyone knows green equals health. And perfect. I was going to mention that I was scared of that Venom Whip, but didn't think I'd have to be that scared. Jeez. Also, thank you, Verblix. Keeping me healthy, keeping me alive. In real life, as well as in game. We can thank Brain and Mark B for exploration since they've been doing the 14-15 rune games. Yeah, definitely, as well as the Ziggurat clears, because I know Brain unfortunately lost their Null Ice Element list, but they were able to get through, I think, 5 or so Ziggurats, and then Mark B did the other 2, so they've definitely been doing a lot of work in those late game things, which works out great for me because I'm definitely looking to potentially, if I can get a streak going here, just throw in a few different shorter rounds here. We'll see how it goes, of course. Oh geez, this adder's not great. Maybe I should have actually backed up a bit. Let's not take too much poison damage doing this, ideally. And we can use a Wand of Ice Blast just to ensure we get a hit on here. Perfect. That is a nice get early on, just for taking care of those adders in particular, for sure. As well as whatever other high evasion enemies we might run into in the early dungeon. I haven't missed any armor, right? This is actually... Oh, I did miss a leather armor. Oh, silly me. I will actually go grab that, though, even though ideally... Again, we're looking for plate here, game. Let's pop that bad boy on right away. We can also immediately drop our robe. Let's keep it going. Maybe D3 is where we'll find our first Orc Priest. Maybe, just maybe, game. If you could do that for me. Ooh, an armor boutique. That's very nice this early on. Can't afford too much, obviously, at this stage, but... +3 plate armor, sorry, of poison resistance. Seems pretty nice to me. I mean, the +7 scale mail as well. Besides vulnerability to fire, I'm completely traumatized by one of our recent troll runs, so any vulnerability to fire makes me clench inside, but there's also a shield there, which is a very nice find, so hopefully we can pick up some money ambiently over the next couple floors here. Maybe afford something nice to buy ourselves there. Onwards we go. Repeating our mantra. Heavy armor, Orc Priest. Heavy armor, Orc Priest. Well, you can do it, game. We're at least no longer quite in as much danger for every single kobold and hobgoblin we run into. And now instead we just have to be scared for as soon as we run into our very first Null pack here. And also take a few swings this time around against the adder. Watching how poisoned we're getting, because I'd ideally not have to use another one of our curing potions here. And after making that much noise, we'll immediately run back a bit to heal up. Perfect. Ooh, 1 orc, 2 orc. Priest? Please, I need a priest. Please forgive me, BO, for I have sinned. Apparently no priest in this pack, unfortunately, but that should be just fine. Let's take these bad boys out and go pick up this ring mail. We're really just slowly but surely ranking ourselves up through the different types of armor here. And though maybe I missed something in the pile of orc bodies. Ooh, I did. Chainmail. That's even better. Let's grab that son of a gun, drop our previous 2 armors. And though it is fulfilling the prophecy now of literally stepping up one by one through each type of armor. Are we good enough to fight an adder properly yet? Not necessarily looking like it. I at least want to go here so that we have the ability to fire off our Ice Blast without killing ourselves. And I'm just slowly going through this. One more hit. Oh, okay, there we go. I didn't want to use all of our Ice Blast wand charges on just adders in the early game here, because I feel like we might need those at some point. especially if we don't end up getting any flaming brand things. It's always nice to have some kind of answer for the Hydras of Lair. Wands usually being my go-to on these types of characters. Crystal armor incoming? I sure hope so. Judging by the pattern, of course, we'll first have to get plate mail. And then I guess it gets really complicated there, right? Because we'd have to find like 7 different types of of dragon scales. But if the game wants to skip me straight up to plate, I would definitely not complain whatsoever. I've never actually thought about ranking every single armor in the game from lowest to highest by AC. Definitely would take a ridiculous amount of weird luck here. Oh, we do actually, I just noticed, definitely have enough money for that shield. So, I'm going to immediately search that back up, head upstairs. Can buy that right away. We probably won't put it on with the new shield training and the way that all works. It definitely hinders your melee attacks a lot more than it used to, but we'll start training that right away, maybe even focusing it down. D4 Steam Dragon would be kind of scary. Let's hope it doesn't start like that. I definitely feel you there. Ideally, we wouldn't have to kill anything, for all the different types of scales and stuff like that, but that's probably being a bit too wistful in my thinking. I also should, real quick here, just go into here and manually set that skill target. Or I guess not so manually, but more so automatically set that skill target with the in-game hotkeys there. And now is just about the time that we find God, right? Right, game? Can you do that for us, please? Also, come on, Adder. Oh, geez. Adder being a bit of a pain in the butt there. How quickly can I take out this jelly? Am I concerned? Don't like acid damage. But at least not nearly as evasive as the Adder was. Take a look at our... Oh, I'm dead. Holy cow. That happened fast. Well, the streak's over. That's unfortunate. But also totally fine. Monk plans for BO? That was the plan indeed. I was curious how much the extra damage from the acid was. Because it was up to 3 for the hit itself, and then it just said deal extra acid damage. I thought we had at least 1 turn there, but that's what I get for getting a little too greedy. And now, of course, the pressure's off at the very least. Always gotta look on the bright side of life. The silver linings in all things, and that's definitely what I'm gonna take from that. Is now we're just open to try whatever we'd like, get a little wishy-washy, which does make me think, unless, of course, if anyone in chat wants to see something played, definitely just shout out and we can try it out here. But myself, if we pop into the character select here, I think we might hop in as a genie. I didn't want to do it on a attempt for a streak victory just because you never know what kind of spells you're going to get, and so sometimes you can definitely get completely shafted in that regard, but they are a whole lot of fun, so I wouldn't mind. What else? We have Hill Orc Ice Elementalist is a Nemlex choice. Ooh. So if we wanted to try and do Hill Orc a little bit more justice here, we could hop in on that. That is points. Let's actually take a look. I do have Nemlex page open here just because I enjoy this. There's one more clan available for Hill Orc Ice Elementalist, but no more individual. Okay, so unfortunately, not great optics there, especially I'm curious if there is anyone, currently on the go there. We can take a quick scroll through here. Hill Orc Fighter. No, I will say, even if I'm the first one to start it right now, that doesn't mean we're going to get that win in before the end, but sure, why the heck not? Let's try it out, shall we? Ice Elementalist. And, Oh, perfect. Well, thank you so much for that information. So up to 12 damage on the acid. That's good to know. That's one of the nice things. I probably should at some point get around to adding beam to my chat here. I also have in the past, there's a Lom Labot Twitch chat thing that you can add on that lets you do the queries in chat. But unfortunately, I don't know any of the syntaxes for all that stuff either. So I would be a little bit lost as to how to actually actively use those. And that's why I get super lazy. And I just make you lovely people do that for me. The search box for Hillark Ice Elementalist will show any ongoing across the servers. Okay. Let's try that out, shall we? You know, maybe we'll just go into it here. It'll be fine. Even if we don't end up getting Nemlek's choice, we had fun, right? So, as always, Poppy's on. I should, now that I've gotten, or at least started to dabble into RC edits, I should figure out how to add edits for auto pickup items. Because that would be a little bit handy on this side of things. But, let's see. Do I want to actually invest in spellcasting here? Or do we want to just do an immediate swerve? Because the one thing about Nemlek's choice is you can just completely ignore your background. Just use it as just the Nemlek's choice side of things and train the exact way that you would on a different character in the first place. We'll have to see though. You like to use Beam in the Webtiles chat box? Yeah, exactly. I definitely see that most people use Beam for sure. But one day maybe I will figure out exactly how to use the queries for Beam. And really, at the end of the day, there's probably no harm in me going for it at the very least, or adding Beam, so maybe we'll have to do that. Interesting. Maybe I did hold Shift P. I tried to use the auto quiver key there, and it told me I didn't have jewelry to put on, but that's not what we were trying to do, game. And, you know, so I stopped getting that warning. Let's just put this short sword in our hands here. And even though, of course, if we were playing optimally here, we definitely want to let enemies come to us. There's no reason for us to go towards them. Ooh, and what do you have? Dagger or freezing? Be fitting to carry that for sure. So what the heck not? It's not a great brand for a dagger, just because it does scale off of the base damage of the weapon itself, but it'll attack a little bit faster than our current weapon. It's not like we're likely to train either. I do like to go with axes on my Hillarks for sure. And yeah, you just have to spectate a game that has Beam in it and type subscribe. Perfect. Well, I may as well do that at some point here. Hopefully, perfect. The Quokka didn't wake up whatsoever as I take way too much damage fighting a simple enemy. Holy cow. Sneak attacks though? Perfect. Love to see it. Can go back into a nice little corridor here, and that ended up being far more enemies than I was originally expecting, but nothing we can't handle at the very least. And I'm still debating in my head how much we want to actually lean into our Ice Elementalist abilities here, or if we do want to go for the classic, just ignore that side of things completely. Have to decide as we go here. At some point it will become a bit more critical to make a decision, I guess, once we get an axe, mostly, because then I'll start wanting to train a weapon skill a little bit more. But for the time being, might as well learn a little bit of magic. Can always augment our abilities with it. Use it as a bit of a ranged technique. Especially, oh, I guess, ooh, they took out Summon Ice Beast. Right. That's important for me to note, because that was always one of my go-to Ice Elementalist spells, if just because it allows you to deal with a lot of the creatures that are completely resistant to ice in the early game. Ooh, a D1 Null with a spear is very scurry. I'm gonna drop an exclusion onto that bad boy right away here. Just trying to ignore that. It's just the tiniest bit of dungeon floor to go here at the start of our new game. This is not a permanent trap, so I think I will step into that once. Risked a tiny bit getting teleported straight into the welcoming arms of that knoll, but Of course, never didn't have it and all that good stuff. Ooh, and a dislocation book, eh? I haven't used a lot of these spells very much. Gale's Gravitas, I haven't heard amazing things about it. So it makes everyone pulled to a point, makes like a miniature black hole, eh? Interesting at the very least. Lesser Beckoning, beckons target forward. That could come in handy, depending on how much, again, we want to lean into a bit of hybridization, which is definitely on my list. Ooh, and that's Ice Magic there. They are multi-school, Metabolic Inglatiation and Simulacrum, and probably not multi-schools that I'm that interested in going into, but it's definitely a surprising number of spellbooks to show up already by this stage of the game, even though I do know that the chances of spellbooks showing up has greatly increased in this version of the game, even if just to make up for the fact that you're one spell shorter to start out, which is a nice change for sure. It allows you to, I don't know, mix it up a little bit more as spellcasters, actually get into different schools and have to adapt your gameplay. Let's see. This is where I guess we have to decide what the heck we're doing with our life. Do I want to be a caster? Do I want to be a slasher? Maybe I will go into casting. I am definitely, in general, a fan of spellcasting in this game. So we'll start cranking up into intelligence here. We'll still probably go with BO. Always a solid target for a hill orc, and one of the only, if it's not even one of, it's the only opportunity you have to worship BO. So it is fun to take advantage of that whenever I play as one, for sure. Not to mention the advantages are absolutely stellar as a hill orc or BO. Specifically, Smite is just a be-all end-all answer for the majority of monsters in the game, for sure. See a tough unique, just smite it out of existence from afar. Hello, friends. Saving all of our mana here, or at least the majority of it, for the adder itself, even though fortunately, unlike our last run, adders aren't too much of a problem for us, because freeze just doesn't miss. As well as the fact that it slows down reptiles, of course. It's kind of a double whammy there. Okay, it's not going to wake up. Perfect. Slap a few freezes down on that bad boy, and let's see what kind of staff we get. Staff of Poison. Okay, so not incredible for us yet. No, if our Octopode game has anything to say about it, if we can find OTR at any stage in the game here, that absolutely skyrockets us into success for sure. As I accidentally stop us moving as I mute and unmute my mic. Perfect, definitely going smoothly so far. All things considered, maybe, just maybe, we can bring this hill orc in a little bit further. Well, hello, adder once more. And we should definitely also be checking my spell book status a little bit more often. We definitely have half-decent odds of casting Frozen Ramparts by now, and that is one of my favorite spells, even with the nerf that they did take. There is just one other hill orc Ice Elemental ongoing. It seems like they may have turned their character straight into a fighter based on their character's title. Yeah, that definitely was what we were debating as well. They'll probably beat us to it, all things considered, but that's fine by me. Not just here for Nemlek's choice. That's just a little bit of a bonus, the cherry on top if we manage to make it. So, I mean, there's not, I don't wish ill on anyone. We could hope that they lose their run at a pivotal moment, but at the end of the day, not too upset if we don't get the clan point for the Nemlek's choice. We can still get a clan point for a victory. Maybe even get our win rate looking a little bit better. And maybe, hey, if we win this one, the next one will definitely win and start the streak, right? It's one way to do it, not so fun though. I do enjoy, yeah, leaning a bit more into the flavors for sure. Ooh, okie dokie. This is going to be a pain in the butt. We did learn Frozen Ramparts, right? So I think we will cast that now. Otherwise things are gonna get real rough. Can I break out of the net without... Perfect, it doesn't break my walls. That's awesome. And we, I believe, have a few different throwing tools here. We at least have rocks. So let's just throw some rocks while we let our frozen walls do all our work for us, shall we? Noel's definitely getting close to being able to lethal us. Not quite yet, though. So let's go one more, shall we? Hoping that our frozen walls do our work for us. Not quite. But we can just run away. Oh no. That skeleton isn't great. Perfect. Just... Oh, okay. Awesome. Never mind. All good. Totally happy about it. How much damage do you do, friend? Up to 5 damage, kick for up to 2. That sounds like you can't lethal me, so I'm gonna get the heck out of here. Perfect. And we will just head to another stairway. No need to risk ourselves there whatsoever. And the frozen ramparts definitely came to the rescue, because null packs with nets, very much an absolute killer combo at this stage in the game. Hello, friend. I will still frozen ramparts, yes indeed. Maybe and switch over to our poison darts though. Use that instead. And awesome. I mean, we will probably do at least the tiniest bit of hybridization here, if just because as a ice elementalist with Ozukubu's armor and frozen ramparts, you can kind of just become a bit of a tank that can stand there and take a beating as well as dish it out at the same time. It helps sometimes, definitely, to have that little bit of cross play there. Ooh, and I'm still using my quick quiver key, thinking that it will cast freeze. And this is going to be a pain in the butt. Can do up to 7 damage, so let's hop out of there and heal. And this time we'll just go right back down, try and finish this bad boy off. At least skeletons don't heal, so we have that advantage working for us. As well as the fact, obviously, that they can't follow us up and down stairs, which is very nice. Here, let's change our quiver back to freeze here, just so that I can do that a bit more easily against a bunch of these early game enemies. And, ooh, a ring of magical power is definitely a nice get for us early on here. A lot of times when you get that later in the game, you're already wearing too much important jewelry and whatnot, so it's nice to be able to actually take advantage of that for sure. And a dagger of electrocution is also a huge get early on. So let's grab that, maybe do a bit of inventory cleanup here, dropping our old daggers. I do want to switch up to ring mail probably at some point here, but I, on the same token, also want frozen ramparts to be a full usable part of our build here. Oh, whoops. Okay, I was just lagging for a bit as everything slowly catches up there and all my tabs go through. Just wondering what was going on. Definitely still learning how to, learning the details and the feel of playing on the online web servers here. Especially during tournament time, I'm sure it's busier than ever. Not too bad. Definitely do enjoy my spellcaster starts. Even before the melee changes were made, I was already finding myself not doing very well, surprisingly, with most of my melee characters, because my mindset had just completely reworked itself to working with casters. Oh, geez, dang it, you woke up at the worst moment there. Guessing you're resistant to cold? You are indeed. Making me really regret my decisions here, Grinder. But hey, that works for me. If you want to just take your turn shooting stuff instead of walking towards us, we'll just get the heck out of there. Was just going to walk towards the stairs and cross my fingers that Grinder blinked away from us. But didn't even have to put in the work ourselves. Grinder just got out of the way themselves. Love to see it. And that's definitely a bit of a pain of a unique to run into in the early game as an ice elementalist. There are only a few that truly counter us here, or at least resist us in a bad way. In fact, we're getting a little bit close now to where Grinder was. Speak of the devil. Ooh, okay. Paralysis is the scary part of Grinder in general, but let's just slowly but surely walk away. Excuse me, ma'am. Please don't. Please stop. At least it's a very short-term paralysis. And we can slowly but surely make our way over to a stair here. So I'm probably just going to leave this level and we can come back later. Grinder can just suck it for now. Come back when we're stronger and absolutely slay. Priest? No priest. And in fact, that was real rough there. Immediately getting slapped from multiple angles. I don't think I want to stand my ground and fight here. This is a decent hallway for ramparts. We could try and kill the orc warrior before they get too far towards us. I guess with the new transparency additions here. 1d5 for frozen ramparts. Nice. Okay, I've never known exactly how much damage it did. I just know the sound it makes when it takes a man's life. Oh my gosh. This is horrible. Excuse me, friends. This is not where I parked my car. Taking all the damage there as we try and step away, but it's all we can do, really. And let's see. I could hope that we get random energied on our way back to the stairs. This was truly unfortunate in many a way, though, for sure. So maybe look in our inventory instead, see if there are any solutions. Wand of Acid, probably not going to kill you in one hit. Let's see, it can do up to 20 damage. You have 16 health. It could kill you in one hit. That's fascinating. The other option, of course, would be to blind quaff some potions. We don't have very many scrolls, so I'm not likely that we get blinking, which is the only one that's really going to save us here. There we go. Fix us is what was coming into my mind, but we're beyond help in that regard. Okay, just making sure that I'm not taking a stupid step and taking a hit for absolutely no reason. And now comes the time for decisions. In fact, let's even step onto the stair. Because I could Acid Wand, and if we manage to kill the one right next to us, we can go upstairs. Not too bad. Could also go upstairs and hope for a horrible roll, I should say. But I don't think that that's very likely whatsoever. Or we could drink that one potion and go upstairs. Potion of Curing would probably keep us alive, but if we get hit by this white, most likely we still come back to the same or similar health point total. Oh gosh, I accidentally attacked the white. I thought I was in X view mode. Totally on purpose, calculated move really. I knew my dagger of electrocution could just delete that bad boy, so you know, you do what you have to. But let's go down a different stairway, shall we? And hope that nothing quite to that extent happens again here. Jeez Louise. Early excitement is always fun though, and I always like to tell myself that with one of those really lucky survivals, where it's against all odds, definitely should have died by any stretch of the imagination, you just have to get through one of those, and it means that the rest of your game is going to go fantastically. But let's put up Frozen Ramparts just to do some ambient damage. Dang it, Grinder, I was hoping you'd walk up to us, friend. Really hoping there that Grinder would step towards us and we could start using our dagger of electrocution again for this buddy who's resistant to us otherwise. But instead, I guess we're going to run back to the stairway here, being a little bit slow. I don't want Grinder to blink in front of me. Oh, this paralysis is lasting longer. That's not great. Screw you, Grinder. Let's get the heck out of there. And here's what I'm going to do. Come in here, let's learn Ozukubu's armor. Yes, please. Then we'll go downstairs, armor up, ice up. We failed, but that's fine. It's probably not going to do any damage anyway. It was just kind of wasting time for Grinder to walk up to us. And kind of in that regard, let's use a Wand of Acid, shall we? And then we'll switch over to rocks. And just try and slowly but surely ping away at Grinder here. Perfect. Please walk up to us more. Oh my gosh. Do I break my armor? Yeah, I think I just need to close the distance here. And I think I will use one more acid charge here. 68% to hit. Never didn't have it. And perfect. Managed to take her out no problem, and then we can explore the rest of this floor in the end. Not too bad. Still don't know where I left all the whites. Ah, hello friends. There you are. We were just talking about you. So let's bring you this way. Ozukubu's armor up. And then we can use our Dagger of Electrocution to decent effect here, we've learned. But let's maybe just take one of you upstairs, play it safe, put that armor back on, finish you off. Perfect. And with that, we do finally have another axe here. And in fact, I think I've been missing a few axes and just not realizing that I was leaving them on the floor. So let's pick that up, because that +3 aptitude in axes is absolutely huge. So we can start training that up, and we're on our way to a little bit of a nice hybrid build here. We'll use our armor abilities and Frozen Ramparts to good effect here, at the very least. While still, of course, using this Dagger of Electrocution on the whites is very nice, because it's one of the few things that they're not completely resistant to, or not completely necessarily, but even partially. Hello, friend. Should have actually checked. Just +1 dagger. I was pretty sure it wasn't too scary, but turns out I was just wrong. So let's take you upstairs. You do 8 plus your dagger, right? So great odds to hit us, but not too much damage even if they do. And now we're back into the age-old classic of the game here in Pillar Dancing. Trying to count my keystrokes a little bit here just so that I don't accidentally screw myself with server lag like I have a couple times, or gone close to doing a couple times I should say. Also, please don't random energy towards me again, white. That wasn't very fun. Perfect, there we go. Let's cover ourselves with armor. Dang it, not going as well as I would have liked. So we're back on the retreat. Could, I guess, use our wand here instead, maybe. Hope that it's a one-hit kill, ideally, at the very least. But if that is our strategy, I do want to be at a point where we have enough health to finish the fight, even if it is, you know, like a half the white's health shot, as it were. What's our chance of hitting? 71% chance. 71% chance? Please, game. 71% chance? Okay, perfect. There we go. No snap, are we green Jesus? Not yet, but we definitely will be. As soon as the game gives us the opportunity here. I've been mentioning a couple times that it's the instant you start actively looking for a D2 Orc Priest is when you never see an Orc Priest for the rest of your life, of course. As all things should be. But, let's see, you hit 17 plus Giant Club, that is brutal. Oh, we're also drained. Right, that's the issue with fighting so many whites in a row here. But let's armor up, ramparts up, and I think I can just take you down. No problems whatsoever. And armor up, ramparts up, finish the job. That will be our pattern for the time being, our holding pattern as it were. We're just looking for a false prophet here. Because I am, of course, the true messiah of BO, and any other orc priests are just false prophets. But that doesn't mean we don't want one right away here. To spread the good word, at least start spreading the good word of our Lord and Savior, BO. Promising. Anytime I see even a single orc, I start getting hopeful at the very least. That's not the kind of fancy orc I want to see, but maybe, just maybe, around the corner? Sir, please. Well, at least Frozen Ramparts is a very solid use against invisible enemies in the start game here, as long as they aren't completely resistant to us. And, yeah, I do want to back up here, because I want to be hitting this buddy with every turn if possible. And what can we do? Poison you, I guess? We at least have the advantage of being able to run away against a polearm user, even if it is a very scurry orc warrior there. More orcs? Still no priest though, of course. Never expect to find one. It's probably going to be like D10, or maybe worst case scenario, we won't find an orc priest until the orcish mines. But that's going against my usual beliefs of manifesting our own luck. So let's just say that we're going to find an orc priest pretty soon, actually, as far as I'm concerned. Almost instantaneously we'll find one of those bad boys. I'm sure of it. And +2 gloves is a nice find early on here. Give us a little bit more AC to our name. Should also check with our spell casting. Can I put on this ringmail yet? Yeah, I'll definitely take 8% chances this early in the game. That's not too bad. Gives us a little bit more staying power here with our defenses. We're at the point naturally now, AC-wise, that we were before when we cast Ozokubu's armor. In fact, if we Ozokubu's, brings us up to 11, which is very nice. And a +4 ring of protection. Don't mind if I do, game. Put that bad boy on right away here. Oh, geez, and a ring of ice is actually kind of huge as well. A bit scary, for sure, because I am very liable to forget to take that off and immediately get absolutely slammed and destroyed by, you know, the next orc wizard we find with just a few fireballs. But would definitely be nice. These orcs are just friends we haven't met yet. It is super sad that we have to kill them, hey? I mean, I guess... Oh, maybe I should. In the future, I might do a bit of a self-inflicted penalty and say that we don't kill any orcs when I play as a hill orc. Because I think you're completely right there, Safid. They're very much just friends we haven't met yet. And it feels horrible to kill friends, you know? Doesn't feel right, at the very least. But hopefully, that will very soon not be the case, and we can instead only kill the heretics that don't believe in the one and only Messiah. And we can leave all of the true believers alive. Let's use a poison dart, shall we? And perfect. We keep going here. We could, I guess, theoretically start using a little bit more strength on our level ups. But at the end of the day, I think I will lean more towards the caster side and just take whatever melee damage we're able to lay down ambiently on the side. Even without strength and just like a solidly enchanted weapon or a really strong weapon in general, we usually do all right for ourselves. So let's not worry too much about that. I guess, and part of that implicitly is the fact that each point of intelligence does do a whole lot of work in regards to our ability to spellcast whatsoever. So the trade-off there definitely favors one way. Yes. And so the time comes. Definitely have to join our Lord and Savior here, and the true run begins. So sad that our first hill orc didn't quite get to this point. This is when things get a little bit interesting. Any friends? No friends. Dang it, need more piety. Oh geez, confusion is not great for us early on. I don't think we've blind quaffed any potions. We have not. In fact, I should really be reading scrolls by this stage in the game. Yes, praise be to BO, and to you, Safid, and to you. Okie dokie. Use our frozen ramparts here to, no, okay, I guess, fine. I'll hold down control and just swing. Come on, game. We both know there was an invisible person there. Don't be coy about it. Ooh, Steam Dragon. I think we're solid enough to take you now. That frozen ramparts was probably not the brightest, just because Steam Dragon could have just walked away from the whole thing, but on the other hand, never didn't have it, as always. So that is the important thing to note. And we should definitely use frozen ramparts against the squishy evasion-heavy enemies. Also, I'm going to set the skill target on our axe training there so that we don't overlevel that to a ridiculous degree. This was a weird little vault, though, where all the enemies were just tucked away into their own individual cubby holes. Hello, friends. Thank you kindly for walking up to me.